Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on IRS Section 7702, the rule that makes tax advantage life insurance possible, but also the rule that can quietly destroy those advantages overnight if you cross one hidden line. And here's the kicker. The IRS won't send you a warning letter. You'll only find out when it's too late, and your so-called tax-free bucket suddenly triggers a tax bill. It's like driving down a highway with a hidden speed camera. You're cruising, thinking everything is fine, until weeks later, you open up the mailbox, and there's a ticket staring back at you. That's how Section 7702 works if you don't know the rules. So stay with me for the next 10 minutes, and you'll know exactly how to fund near the line without crossing it, so your IULs tax advantages stay intact when properly structured and maintained. Most policies don't fail in year one, they fail silently years later. And here's how to make sure yours does. By the end of this video, you'll learn about the IRS tests that keep your IUL tax advantage and hidden 7-year tripwire that can flip it into a taxable mess. The history of 7702, why Congress created it in the first place, and why it matters today. The guardrail law in 7702A, the 7-pay test, and how crossing it triggers MEC. The 2021 updates that raise the ceiling for high earners, and why 2025 is a critical window. And most importantly, how to max funds safely to unlock loans, flexibility, and legacy, all while staying inside IRS limits. And if you stick with me until the end, I'll share a bonus strategy, the sweet spot of funding that can dramatically increase how much tax advantage income your IUL can generate over your lifetime. Hello, my name is Robert Balgach. I'm the founder and CEO of Black Swan Insurance Group. And since 2017, we'll help over 20,000 families build tax-free retirement solutions and protect their family's legacy, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews of Google. Now, let me show you why what you learned today matters. A couple of years ago, I met a 52-year-old plumbing services company owner, and he started a company from nothing. And 15 years later, they had 10 trucks servicing the local market. He worked long days and late nights to get to that point. His drive was to make sure his family never struggled like he did growing up. And 2 years before we met, he was sold an IUL that was supposed to be his tax-free retirement account. The idea was good. The design was. He overfunded it too quickly, tripped the IRS rules, and his policy was permanently reclassified as a MEC. He looked at me and said, "Rob, I thought I was building something my family could count on. But now it feels like I just built another account for the IRS." We were able to restructure his policy, adjusted his design, rebalance the funding, and reinstall the IRS guardrails. And for the first time, he had a strategy he thought he was buying. And here's the truth. It wasn't his fault. The idea was solid. The setup was broken. And that's why 7702 and 7702A matter. It's the difference between building your family's future or building Uncle Sam's. Next, I'll show you what these opaque tax codes rules mean in plain English. So what is IRS Section 7702? 7702 is the rulebook. If your policy passes, it qualifies as life insurance. That unlocks tax-deferred growth, tax-free death benefit, and the ability to access cash via policy loans when properly structured. If it fails, the IRS treats it like a taxable account. And here's the story. In the late 70s, wealthy families discovered the loophole. They stuffed huge amounts into policies with tiny death benefits. They weren't buying protection, they were building unregulated tax shelters. Congress didn't like that. In 1984, they created 7702 to draw a line. Here's what counts as real life insurance, and here what doesn't. Every policy must pass one of these two tests. CVAT, cash value accumulation test, controls how fast cash value can grow versus death benefit. And GPT, guideline premium test, limits premiums versus death benefit. Think of it like airport security. Pass, and your policy boards the tax reflect. Fail, and alarms go off all over the place. And a minimum wage TS agent is about to strip you out. In this case, the IRS treats your policy like a taxable account. But even after 7702 rule was put in place, rich people kept pushing the limits. Section 7702A and 7-pay test. By 1988, wealthy families were gaming the system, dumping hundreds of thousands into 1-year premiums. So Congress responded with TAMR and Section 7702A, introducing the 7-pay test. Plain English, you can't put in more than what 7 equal annual payments would allow. Fund too quickly, and your policy becomes a MEC. Forever. Think of a water tank. Fill steadily, and the tank feels perfect. Dump too much at once, it overflows, and the IRS locks the lid, saying, from now on, gains come out first and are taxable. And if you're under 59.5, add another 10% tax. That's the 7-pay test. It's a tripwire that separates a perfectly designed strategy from a permanent tax trap. But here's the twist. In 2021, Congress did something they rarely do. They helped the little guy. Imagine living in a house with 7-foot ceilings. Shaq wouldn't last 5 minutes, ducking his head in every room. And that's exactly what life insurance funding felt like under the old rules. 7702 assumed 4% rates forever. In the 80s, that worked. But when rates crashed, that ceiling became chokehold, and families couldn't fund efficiently. Then in 2021, Congress updated 7702 inside the Consolidated Appropriations Act with overwhelming bipartisan support. And for the first time in decades, the ceiling lifted. Now you can fund more efficiently within IRS limits without tripping MEC. In plain English, your ceiling isn't 7 feet anymore. It's 12 feet. You got breathing room, more room to fund, more room to build, more room to access later. But more headroom doesn't mean no guardrails. Cross the line and MEC still detonates. MEC, the tax trap you must avoid. A MEC is like stepping on a financial landmine. Everything looks fine until you make a wrong move and everything blows up. Once you cross the 7-pay line, the IRS requalifies your policy as a MEC permanently. No appeals, no reset. What stays? Tax deferred growth and tax-free debt benefit. What changes? Cash value tax benefit. Withdrawals become a life out. Last in, first out. Under 59.5, 10% tax on top. For example, you fund IUL with $500,000. It grows $2 million. You withdraw $100,000, expecting tax-free access, but IRS says, no, that's gay, taxable. And suddenly you owe a 5-figure tax bill. Bottom line, once MEC, always MEC. Design and funding discipline make the difference. So how do you drive 200 miles an hour without wrecking the car? Think Talladega Superspeedway. Cars hit 200 plus miles per hour, but drift an inch outside a lane, and the crash is massive. Stay in control, and you'll get all the speed with none of the wreck. That's the IUL funding. The goal? Ride the line. Never cross. Here's the pros checklist. Number 1, design for efficiency. Minimum debt benefit, allow for your goals. Number 2, fund just under MEC, like filling your gas to 99%. Number 3, spread premiums over 5 to 7 years. Respect the 7. Number 4, review annually after changes. Loans, riders, face adjustments, they can re-trigger MEC test. Do it right, and you enjoy high, flexible funding capacity. No Roth style caps, but still subject to 7702 and 7702A and carrier rules. Tax deferred growth, access funds tax-free via policy loans, tax-free debt benefit for your heirs. Max funding is precision driving. Near the line, not over. So here's the bonus I promised in the beginning. The sweet spot of IUL fund. Say your MEC limit is $50,000 a year, and the real power isn't funding $20,000 or $30,000. It's consistently putting it just under the limit, $49,000 to $49,500. That's where you squeeze maximum efficiency right to the line without crossing it. And over decades, that difference is huge. A policy funded at $30,000 per year might generate significantly less access than one funded just over $50,000 a year. Same policy type, same rules, different funding discipline. The sweet spot isn't underfunding, it's funding near the line, not over it. And yet, this is where most people get skeptical. So let's talk about the biggest objections I hear. If you ever Google IULs, you've probably seen critics calling them complicated, expensive, or even a scam. So let's break it down. Objection number 1 I hear is, isn't this too good to be true? That's a fair question. And honestly, if you're a high-income professional, you should be skeptical. And here's the truth. The tax treatment of life insurance isn't a loophole. It's written directly into the IRS Code sections 72E, 7702, 7702A, and 101A. These rules have been around for decades, through every administration, Republican and Democrat alike. Banks use it, Fortune 500 companies use it, wealthy families use them every day. Think of it like the rules of the NFL. Touchdowns aren't a loophole, they are literally written into the playbook. Life insurance tax advantages work the same way. It's not too good to be true, it's too old and established to ignore. Objection number 2. Why not just use Roth IRA? Great tool if you qualify. The problem, Roths have income caps that block many high earners, and even if you qualify, the contribution limit is tiny, about $7,000 per year in 2025. And IUL has no statutory contribution cap like Roth or 401k. Instead, it's bound by IRS tests 7702, 7702A, and policy design. That gives high-income earners far more room to build efficiently. Think of it like travel. A Roth is like a commercial flight, affordable, reliable, but limited in seats and destinations. An IUL is like a private jet, not for everyone, but if you can fund it, you get more capacity, flexibility, and control. Both get you from point A to B, but one is designed for a different travel. Objection number 3. Aren't the fees high? Here's the truth. Yes, life insurance has costs. Every financial vehicle does. But when an IUL is structured properly, the costs are transparent and typically decline over time as your net amount at risk shrinks. Many well-designed IULs come out with costs that are comparable or lower than Wall Street's 1 to 2% annual advisory fees. And unlike brokerage accounts, you don't pay ongoing taxes on growth when managed correct. It's kind of like complaining about the price of admission to Disney World. Sure, tickets aren't free, but once you're inside, you realize the rides, fireworks, and parades are worth far more than the gate fee. And your kids will never forget. With IUL, the benefits, protection, tax advantage growth, legacy, make the fees a feature, not a flaw. Objection number 4. What if the market crashes? Another fair concern. The beauty of an IUL is the floor, typically set at 0%. That means if the market drops 20%, your credited interest could simply be zero for that year, not negative. Outside of policy costs, you don't lose cash value to market downturns. Over time, avoiding big crashes often matters more than chasing the big gains. Think of it like an elevator with a safety brake. The cap might stop you from going higher in certain years, but the floor absolutely saves you from plunging into the basement during the crash. For high-income professionals tired of riding Wall Street roller coaster, that floor can be worth its weight in gold. And by the way, if you're wondering, okay, but how does this apply to me specifically? That's exactly why we built IUL Custom GPT. Like having the smartest IUL strategies in your pocket, free, private, and available 24/7. And you'll find the link right below this video. So let's pull it all together with a quick recap. 1984, Congress passed Section 7702, the rule that gave life insurance its tax advantage superpower. 1988, TAMRA introduced Section 7702A and 7-pay test, the hidden IRS tripwire that created the MEC. 2021, Congress updated 7702 for the first time in decades, raising the ceiling, giving high earners more room to fund efficiently within IRS limit. Today, the key isn't funding blindly, it's funding near the line, not over. Do that, and you unlock one of the most powerful tax advantage strategies available when properly structured and maintained. 7702 defines the game, 7702A keeps you honest, and the sweet spot keeps you winning. So the real question is, what is your MEC sweet spot? Let's calculate it together. So here's your next step. If you're serious about building tax-free wealth, we'll sit down with you one-on-one and calculate your exact MEC sweet spot down to $1. That way, you'll know exactly how much you can safely fund without ever crossing IRS lines. That's what we're doing for free, no obligation, tax-free wealth strategy session. You'll walk away with clarity, not a sales pitch, a personalized roadmap showing how much tax advantage retirement income your policy could support when structured and maintained the right way. Or if you just want to keep learning, watch the next video in this series, how to max fund an IUL safely without triggering. So whether you're ready to act today, want a private tool to explore, or just want to keep building your knowledge, you got a clear path forward. And remember, it's not what you earn, it's what you do. Enjoy it.